The scintillating action of the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup continues with the U16 quarterfinals. It is Charlotte and Real Salt Lake here in Bradenton, Florida. As we welcome you here to the broadcast booth alongside former MLS striker Kalen Carr. Michael Watring, so great to have you with us with this one. We just witnessed one of the best games of the tournament, and it's just the start here of this quarterfinal day.
Yeah, I just barely caught my breath since that last one. And, you know, as we were going with that last-minute equalizer from Charlotte to then, we're about to see Charlotte from Columbus to now transitioning to this match. And then on the other field, we saw LA Galaxy erupt, winning in penalties. Those teams will now face PSV against LA Galaxy. I think that will be another excellent one on this U16 side of the bracket. But, yeah, hard to catch your breath at this point. It's been a fantastic one.
Speaking of that, all the excitement from around Generation Adidas Cup. Just to the right of us was the final of that matchup with Los Angeles Galaxy, upending Montreal to advance to the semifinal. And the celebration was just before what happened on this field, with Columbus Crew coming back from 2-0 down on the last kick to tie it, but PSV Eindhoven and their keeper Eskil Moots making 3 saves and penalties to advance to the semifinal. As you take a look at the storylines of this tournament, 6 of the 12 quarterfinalists in each age group from the MLS. Nearly a quarter of our matches have gone to the penalty spot, including both U16 quarterfinals today. And Real Salt Lake is looking to become the first team since 2023 Philly Union to advance to the semifinals in both age groups. And as we take a look at the bracket here, this is how things stand. KRC Genk and Austin FC are the two teams that will face the winner of this matchup between RSL and Charlotte FC. As we take a look at this Charlotte lineup, 3 different players have scored. Franco Jaimes has the team lead with 3 goals in the tournament.
Yeah, I think the defense will be a strong point for them, and their emphasis with Munoz being a youth international for the United States, and it'll be an important role to try and shut down some talented attackers coming from the other side with Real Salt Lake.
And you take a look at this Real Salt Lake group. They've had 4 different goal scorers so far in this tournament. What do you expect from this team?
Well, they keep good possession. They'd like to rotate the ball, but then once they get into the attacking half, there's some freedom. And Rylan Hashimoto has taken his moment twice so far this tournament.
So we're ready to go. It's the red and blue kits for Real Salt Lake, the all whites for Charlotte FC. And this U16 quarterfinal bout ignites with RSL in possession. Michael Watring, Kalen Carr, and our dynamite MLS production team on site here for the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. A reminder, 30-minute halves for 60-minute games in GA Cup in this quarterfinal matchup. RSL getting here as the Group F victors, tied with Montreal for the second most points in the group stage, and one of 5 teams that allow just 1 goal so far in this tournament. Meanwhile, Charlotte on the other side, they won Group C with a +2 goal differential, and they took out Philadelphia rather, in penalty kicks in the round of 16. Hornig dribbles, lays it off. It's Silva playing it out top. Hashimoto. Martinez. Martin, who has 2 goals in this tournament. Hashimoto also has a pair. Hashimoto unleashes. Sounded like it hit a cleats, but it did not, and it goes out for a goal kick. And as you mentioned, right at the outset, Hashimoto with plenty of freedom.
Yeah, he plays on that right-hand side, but is always going to be shading towards that left foot, his favored one, and has the power, the technique. He's pulled it out a few times this tournament and has been their leading scorer throughout the season, even rounding into better form in this tournament.
13 goals during the MLS next season so far. And here comes Charlotte with their first push into the attacking half of the field, but they promptly give it away. Martin lays it over. Silva recycles. Real Salt Lake won the second ever GA Cup championship when they outlasted DC United in penalties back in 2008. They've twice been the runners-up in 2010 and 2014 as well. Conversely, for Charlotte, their U17 teams advanced to the MLS Next Cup final last year. in Nashville, falling to LA Galaxy 4-1. A young academy in totality for a team that's just been around for a couple of years. Gonzalez plays it back. Holt recycles. Oh, right near the airport here, near Sarasota as well. So it's actually quiet around the pitches as I look around right now after it has been quite a raucous crowd throughout the week.
But this has been the hottest part of the day, so something to manage, especially early on.
Cross goes in, trickles back out. Sun is directly on top of this pitch right now. It's been a beautiful week all week here in Bradenton.
Easton, split the center backs. You gotta shape it for us, Easton.
The captain, Holt, lays it forward. Geraldo sprints in. He asks for a foul, will not get it.
Ball.
Here's Gank and Austin also getting started around the same time. Winner of this gets the winner of that match in the semifinal on Saturday. Long distance shot unfurled there by Keegan Kerr, who had the goal against Philadelphia Union in that round of 16 match, and the Union picked up a red card in the 18th minute, and eventually Philadelphia would tie in the 55th minute. That was a good seesaw affair in the round of 16.
And they had to go through some adversity as well with a red card that ended up being misidentified, and during that time they conceded, but luckily continue to fight, continue to push, and in penalties, that Philadelphia side have been one of the key teams coming into the tournament, so coming in with some confidence, getting a result in some difficult circumstances.
Gank and Austin are into the second half on field 3. Scoreless as they just start the second half of that game, so we'll know the victor of that one maybe before halftime of ours here on the main field. Holt heads this forward. Silva lays it back. Messino.
Be sure.
Georges. Martinez fillets wide. And skips off of a boot and out.
Come across. Bring it higher to start. Jonah, pass that, or Kai, pass that to Jonah. 40. Ready here, Kai. Go on, Nico. Ready, right.
Holt. Under anxiety from Wilson, and Wilson commits the foul.
Yeah, but don't mind that from Wilson. It's important to bring that pressure, especially early in the match. We see Charlotte setting up, splitting those two center backs between Brower and Holt, and Jordan Allen, the manager here for Real Salt Lake, hoping that he can shift them one direction, to push the ball one way, to make it predictable, so then his team can organize themselves and take advantage. But as a former striker myself, sometimes it gets frustrating just pressuring side to side and not being able to get a touch, and sometimes even giving an early foul. Make those center backs have to feel your presence.
So you're saying patience as a striker has to be a virtue.
It's not known as a characteristic we have a lot of.
There's a foul. No, it's not. It looked like Martin stumbled into Hymas, but no whistle.
Wider, Rainer, wider.
Very much a feeling out process here through the first 7 minutes.
Fast now, Jonah. Brandon, be ready. Good. Beat him more. Yeah, Brandon.
Hornick. Hefty on the touch from Messino.
Higher hub.
Beveridge cannot slow it down. Silva takes over. Silva launches this from a distance, and Techo makes his first save.
It's a really good win here from Salt Lake to win the ball in the middle. That's where they want to create some pressure. When they win it, able to get that first ball forward. That's the key. To allow Silva time and space. He drives forward, makes good contact towards that near post, and Techo does well to get that right hand low to it.
First corner of the match, hooks to the back post, and Techo clutches, and he wants to go quick.
Help him.
Messino, two defenders there. Messino slices through in his pass. Too much zest on it, rolls out. But Real Salt Lake starting to flex its muscle.
Yeah, but excellent first touch there to win that ball back, to cut around the defender, and then to drive forward all the way. Continuing his run, just unlucky with that final touch.
Konstantinos Kiazis lays it over. Georgis. Martin swings it to the far side. This takes a bounce off of a head, but right into the waiting path of Tyre. Unders Tyre. Rolls it back. Martinez shifts field. Hornick. Messino eludes that defender and then plays it back. Silva cuts it out top. Plenty of space here. Martinez uncorks.
It's well done there from Salt Lake to recirculate the ball and picking and probing on this left-hand side. And when it comes around to Martinez, best way to draw a team out is sometimes to have a go from distance, and makes great contact. He's knuckling at the end there and didn't miss that near post by much.
Step in there, Jonah. Keep it that way, Easton.
Just beyond the 10-minute mark of this championship bracket in the U16s. Into the quarterfinals now. Charlotte and RSL even at 0. Martin chases. Martin lays it to the top. Trying to find real estate here is Wilson. Martinez has his cross knocked off of a foot, winning his team a second corner of the match.
Yeah, this is better from Salt Lake. They've built some momentum. The first 5 minutes, it felt like Charlotte were comfortable playing out of possession, and they've been able to up the tempo, win some balls in some dangerous positions, and then to drive forward. That's what I like best about this beginning. Rowan Martin this time coming in, looking to square it, dropping it off to Wilson, just not able to quite turn on it enough, but ends up with a good opportunity here from a corner.
Rylan Hashimoto prepares for this corner. Hashimoto plays back. Messino hooks this ball around, had the target in mind, Mihov, but it whistles past his head and out.
Keep going, Red. It's coming. Go 10% more, Red. Come on, Robbie. Yep, go ahead, Easton. Ready, Nico. Come on.
Charlotte looking to get out of its own end now.
Have you cross.
Real Salt Lake won 2 matches so far in this tournament by 1-0 score lines. They only scored multiple goals in one match. That was the final match of the group stage. 3-0 against Tampa Bay United. That ball skims off of the foot of Geraldo. And it's Chiazzi's coming over to slam the door shut on that opportunity. And in the other quarterfinal matchup going on right now, which the winner of this one will play, it is Genk taking the 1-0 advantage in the second half against Austin. Here's a giveaway. Kerr lays it over to the side. Geraldo tips it backwards. Munoz. Charlotte takes its turn and building an attack.
Yeah, Gonzalez, an important outlet. He's looking for partners there, and they've used him quite a bit so far in the beginning of this match. That's part of their profile with the two center backs splitting those full backs wide. You can see here Munoz pushing into advanced positions, so some of the responsibility for Gonzalez is to drop a little bit deeper to protect and help in that first phase of their build-out process.
The first two matches of the day went to penalties. It's a deadlock so far. Roughly halfway through half number one. Wilson hunts this ball, but Holt will watch it roll across for a goal kick. How does mindset change for either of these two teams now into the knockout rounds from the group stage?
I think both will feel the energy of coming through and having played in these positions. I think the challenge right now is, frankly, with the heat, it's difficult because this time of day, look around the field and only a couple other matches, and it's part of the challenge of now you've gone through a number of matches to begin this tournament, one knockout round, now you're into the quarterfinals, and how do you balance a little bit of the heavy legs just from getting to this point? And I think part of it is make the ball do the work. That's I think the message from both managers. Both like to keep possession. The idea is there, but just have to be clean, because once you lose it, you might have to chase quite a bit, and ultimately it starts to wear you down in the end.
Tomorrow is an off day leading up to the semifinals on Saturday, and then the final on Sunday. Holt shuffles it through the middle of the park. Geraldo.
This is the part I was describing, where you're having to sit and chase for large spells. It's little shuttles, but it starts to add up as you go out throughout this game. And it's smart from Charlotte to stay patient and keep possession. You have to keep it.
Munoz is able to recover. Real Salt Lake, 3 shots, 2 corners. Charlotte just the one, and it was from about 30 yards away.
Forwards press. Press on the long ball. Press the long ball. From here you can maybe jump rope. Out of your head you go. Right here, right here. All right, you got goals.
Munoz.
Brandon, he goes high. You have to do the shot. That's how we get pressure.
Let him go! Has to be more, gentlemen, come on!
Ready, Rain, ready to pick up.
Well, it's a good spell possession here for Charlotte, as now they try to get advanced. Runners through the middle, they go out wide. Dodging, darting, crossing. Comes back out. Gonzalez. Kerr hits the deck. Gonzalez cuts it wide. Munoz circles. Munoz bends. And Charlotte have its first corner of the match.
Yeah, but it's really good here from Charlotte. Just to be patient, to pick and probe a little bit, and then to ask Real Salt Lake, who are sitting in a mid-block, as far as their pressure, once they step, that was the moment where Gonzalez was able to turn and play it in behind there. But the continual rotations to go from side to side, it's the one time they're able to break into the interior space, but then it comes out to the other side, and that's where Munoz is going to exploit that space. Real Salt Lake shifted over. Another opportunity here from the corner.
Over the top. It takes one redirect. A smash hits a body, and it gets cleared away. It was Wyatt Holt that was salivating at that chance. Hashimoto charges forward. Hashimoto debates. Hashimoto lasers. What a save that is. Urtecho stifles.
Fast, efficient, Jonah.
After an extended spell for Charlotte, now they have to defend. Georges turns. Martinez.
It's a great ball.
Inside of the 18. Hashimoto loses possession. A chance perhaps to break now. Through the middle of the field, Kerr chases after it, and it's well defended there by Royce Mihov.
And we've seen this go end to end with Charlotte enjoying the majority of the possession for long stretches, and then immediately things seem to switch on their head. Really good run here from Salt Lake to be able to dominate a little bit more, and another chance from Hashimoto.
Martin works forward, lays it back. Hornig recycles. Hashimoto has all the freedom in the world to go across the field. Martin drifts left. Silva knocks it down. Silva splits defenders. Silva is inside of the box. He stumbles as he loses possession. And a foul.
And we'll get a look at this corner to begin with bodies crashing in. This one drops right back to Charlotte. Excellent technique to keep that one down, and then on the other ways, when they win it, they want to go quick. That's exactly what they do with Ryland Hashimoto, and you can see the technique starts to go one way and then tails the next. Excellent job there from Urtecho to stay behind it.
Maxino sends this in our direction. Just past the 21-minute mark in this matchup. We are scoreless between Charlotte and Real Salt Lake in the U16 championship bracket. The winner gets the winner of Genk and Austin, with Genk leading at 1-0 in the second half. Alongside former MLS striker and our terrific MLS team here in Bradenton, Florida for the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. Michael Watreng with you. Thanks for tuning in to this matchup.
Yeah, we've seen some good ones. Just saw PSV get through in this last match here against a really good U16 Columbus crew team with 4 or 5 youth U.S. internationals on that team, and credit to Columbus for giving them a fight. Scored in the dying seconds, and Genk now beating Austin, at least at this point of the match. And that's part of the intrigue for me, is this international component where these MLS teams get to test themselves against different profiles, different philosophies. And then a bit of bragging rights in this inter-MLS matchup here. Big chance to advance in both teams. Doing a really good job so far in possession. It's difficult because you have to wait your time because both teams have to pick and choose when and where they expend their energy. And so far it's been a tactical battle with the ball at their feet.
Both the U16 and the U18 Real Salt Lake advance to the quarterfinals. The U18s drawing against Toronto, but winning 3-1 in penalties. They'll play Orlando City later on today. This ball knocks off of Hornig and rolls out. Corner kick.
Yeah, it's one of the few times, though, that we've seen Charlotte vary it up a little bit. We see mostly the ball defeat. This time they elect to go a bit of a more direct play to Geraldo in behind here. He's a very clever player, can bring it down. Just turns on a dime and tries to whip in the early ball here and earns the corner kick.
Carlos Gonzalez prepares here. Sizzles this ball across. Header cleared away. And appeals for a foul on that crash. No whistle. Back into the mixer. Holt nudges it forward. And Hornig slings it out to midfield. And it hit the hand, so a chance for a restart.
Hey, coach, come talk to me. Talk to me, Jordan. Let him do it.
If you arrive late, it's a foul. It doesn't matter. It's a tackle. If you're jumping, you arrive late, you're second, it's a foul.
Well, we have a goal before the end of the first half. Roughly 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Hornig. Maxino loses the ball. And that ball ends up over our heads and off of the field.
We got a ball. We got a ball, guys. We got a ball. We got a ball.
Yeah, go.
How do you assess what we've watched so far through 25?
I think both teams have tried to keep possession, look for their moments, but hasn't really resulted in many clear opportunities as of yet. The best chances have actually come from Salt Lake when they're pressing, winning the ball out of possession, waiting for those few mistakes, and then when they get it, go quickly. That's exactly how they found Hashimoto a few times, but it's had to settle for strikes from distance, and so far, Cortecho has done a good job of tracking the flight of those balls, but hasn't had quite the same energy. But I think that's partly due to the heat and the way you would expect, the number of matches they've played. And to get to these types of matches, you have to play the game as it comes to you. You have to adapt. It might not exactly suit both teams, the style of play, but right now it feels like both teams not wanting to make a mistake more so than being bold and being a bit more adventurous.
A collision, and it's a foul on RSL as Geraldo was going after it.
Hey, I cannot have that. Do we understand? Do we understand? I cannot have that.
Jonah, leave it, Jonah. I need you organizing, Jonah.
Organize, Joey. Do you understand or no?
Yes, I do. This is also not okay.
A chance at a free kick here for Charlotte. Carlos Gonzalez lines it up.
And keep an eye on the right-hand side as well with Munoz an option. The angle of where this ball comes from, it looks like they're going to tuck him in and allow Gonzalez to try to whip it in. We've seen some good service from him early on in this match, and they bring up the center backs, Brower and Holt. It's good targets.
Gonzalez cuts this to the back post. It skips. Holt brings it in. Now the flag goes up for offside. The winner of this match gets the winner of Genk and Austin in the semifinal. Genk continues to lead in the waning moments of that one. If Charlotte were to win, it would be a rematch of the Group C affair that saw Charlotte outlast Genk 2-1. Franco Jaimes scoring the game winner in the 59th minute of that one.
Yeah, really impressive performance from Charlotte in that. And that's a strong Genk team. For me, is one of the best in the age group so far. So long way to go in this one to see who might face them, as well as Austin. Still a chance to try to get level. We saw some dramatic moments in GA Cup so far, so would not hold my breath against seeing some noise erupt behind us as we watch this one.
First game of the day, Columbus Crew trailed 2-0. 58th minute, they got one on a delightful free kick from Yuri Rushak. And then on the last kick of the game, an equalizer for the Crew. Went to penalties, whereas Kiel Moot made 3 saves in the final 4 rounds to send PSV on to the semis against LA Galaxy. Couple early chances from Salt Lake, but since that point, been fairly quiet in the last 10 minutes. Martinez. A surge here from Tyre. Lays it wide. Hashimoto unfurls one and hits the crossbar. Rolls off the left post and stays out.
My goodness. One looked like it was dancing across that line there. It's an excellent run to begin with from Tyre to break lines with the ball at his feet, to push forward and then release his winger. How that one did not go in. Unlucky there for Salt Lake. Excellent moment. Get a good look at this one here from behind the goal cam. It goes up and down. It looks like it kisses off that line and just off the post there. Well positioned from the assistant referee to recognize it did not cross, but my goodness, what an opportunity there.
1 minute of stoppage time. Great work by our Crew as well to get that angle for us. It is final, and one more spot to go in the semifinals as Genk holds off Austin 1-0. 1 minute of stoppage time here, so maybe the last chance here for Charlotte before the break.
Yeah, and Charlotte have had the better of the play, but Salt Lake have had the better of the opportunities so far, and they've been the ones that have shown that they're able to change modalities to go quickly from possession to actually breaking lines, and I'm lucky to hit the crossbar and not have the lead.
Trying to find space, galloping along here.
It's a minimum, coach.
Now always goes to the corner. That ball bounces around and it goes out. It's a goal kick after Tyler Beveridge, the defender, went on the run, and it goes out. Goal kick will not happen. That's the end of the first half here in this U16 championship bracket semi-final, and it is a scoreless game through 30 minutes. And Kalen, tight matchup and very much a seesaw affair in the second half. Will be interesting to see if these teams make adjustments.
Yeah, KG, I think, from Charlotte, but looking for that breakthrough, and Salt Lake have been clever, getting out in transition when they can, breaking lines. That one chance from Tyre to Hashimoto. He's had a number of opportunities, 2 goals already in the tournament. Be looking for him to make the difference in the second half.
Scoreless at halftime. When we come back, we'll speak with Stuttgart Youth Academy Director about his team's journey here to GA Cup. That comes your way when we come back. It was a sizzling start to our quarterfinal afternoon here in Bradenton, Florida, the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. Michael Watring and Kalen Carr wrapping things up after PSV advances to the semifinals against Columbus Crew, and they very much had a stranglehold early in this game.
Yeah, and they continue to step their line of confrontation, and it's Ezekiel Amaga who wins that ball, and the first ball goes directly to Hunter, who turns on it very well here. It's just one touch and a simple finish to give PSV the early advantage here.
That came in the 8th minute of the game, and PSV would continue to push forward. Another build from the back. Hunter to Kolas for the second.
Yeah, but once again, it's the ball that comes in from Amaga, who was such a handful to deal with. The Netherlands Youth International was just tremendous, playing up a year, and finds Hunter again. An unselfish pass as a 9. When you drift out wide, that's when you need runners to come in. And an excellent timing there from Kolas to come in, and you get the easy tap in.
And right before halftime, Columbus Crew drew a penalty. Apollo Morench stepped to the spot.
Yeah, I thought this was actually a pretty good tackle here from the Dutch Youth International, Ton Benz, and this was a big chance missed from Morench just before halftime, the timing of it, but give them credit, they didn't quit. Columbus came back out in the second half with renewed energy, and it's a moment of magic, a clever one from Ruschek to go from a difficult angle when the keeper is guessing. Moot thought they might go in with a cross. Instead, the technique from Ruschek to pick out that top corner and bring Columbus back in this.
And then on the very final kick of the game, Ruschek to Bonos on the back post to tie it.
How about this for drama? On the literal last kick of the match, Columbus didn't quit. And once again, it's Ruschek with a wonderful ball into the back corner. And then in comes Bonos, and it's pandemonium. Columbus had all the momentum going to penalties. But Eskil Moot had different ideas.
Van Camp missed the opening kick in round 1, so Columbus had the early edge in round 1. But as you mentioned, Moot stops Prestis, and he did the rest.
Yeah, you're just hoping for your goalkeeper to give you one. Just say, give us one save. That's all we can ask. And Moot continued to pile them on as far as saves go. And PSV grew in confidence, rebounding from that mental sort of difficult moments of conceding in the last minute, and then Moot was able to carry them through with a few big saves, 3 of them.
3 saves in the final 4, and it's PSV Eindhoven to the semifinals of the U16 championship bracket. And we welcome you back here to Bradenton, Florida. It's the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. It's scoreless between Charlotte and Real Salt Lake at halftime as we welcome you back upstairs here to the broadcast booth. Michael and Kalen with you, and we're now joined by the Stuttgart Youth Academy Director, Daniel Teufel. And you get this opportunity to play here in GA Cup. What's the experience been like for you so far?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank for the invitation. I think it's one of the best tournaments in this age group we ever played. So it's well organized, really good opponents, and we are very happy to be here. Coming
and playing here in Florida against many different styles, philosophies, why is that important for your group?
For us, it's part in our education to play against the best teams from other countries. So to get to know some new playing styles, to get to know the level from the best players in the country. So we are very satisfied with the competition here. So, and for our boys, it's really interesting to see how good are our opponents. So, and beside the matches who are very close, so we lost against Austin. It was a really close match. If we would have played a draw, then we had reached the final 16, but unfortunately we lost. So that's also experience for the boys. But beside the football, it's important for us to get to know the USA much better as a country. So they should make some experience for the American life.
Stuttgart has quite the lineage of developing players for the Bundesliga. What are some of the philosophies that the program has at the academy level?
So it's very important for us to educate in football, for sure. But it's also for us very important to graduate the school as good as possible and to develop our players as good as possible in their personality. So the tournament is really good for our boys because of these things. We play now. We won now against the opponent was Nashville, and in our education, it's really important also to win games. So we had a really successful season in the European Youth League. That's the best European competition we can play, and we reached the quarterfinal. We won against teams like Liverpool, we won against Sporting Lisbon, or we won against Juventus Turin, and that's also really important in our education.
What's the experience like as a manager coming here?
The experience is, for me, like for the coaches or the players, nearly the same. So it's not my first time to be here in the US, but for the coaches, for 4 of them, it's the first time. They all love the American sports. So we watched on Tuesday, the match from the Tampa Bay Lightnings, the ice hockey match, and we visited the stadium from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that are great experience. But it's also important for us to exchange ideas with other coaches here. And we talked yesterday for a long time with the coaches from PSV Eindhoven, and we don't talk only about the coaching philosophy and playing style. We talked also a lot about the mentality from the new generation. And that's really important for me as a manager, but it's also important for the coaches. And yesterday I met also someone from Miami City, so that's really interesting also for me to get to know some new styles in the academy and some new ideas. And so we are very proud to be part of this tournament.
Daniel, thanks so much for the time. Best luck the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
That is the Stuttgart Youth Academy Director, Daniel Teufel, here at halftime at Charlotte and Real Salt Lake scoreless at the break. Second half comes up your way next. In the U16 championship bracket semifinals has Real Salt Lake and Charlotte scoreless at the half, and RSL have had some chances.
Yeah, but when they win it, they've gone quick, and that's been the formula for success for them. Silva with a good opportunity here. They've showed a little bit of patience, recirculating it. This is a long shot from distance from Martinez, and you can see the directness. This is where they want to be, in those little half spaces on top of the box. This one is Rylan Hashimoto. Excellent technique, knuckles that, but Urtecho each time has been able to get behind it.
So that's where we sit at the break. 5 shots to 3 for RSL in the opening 45 of play in this contest. And Kalen, very much a feeling outstage, very much building from the back and patient and poised. Does anything change here in this second half, or do you think these teams are pretty content with how things have gone?
I think Salt Lake will probably be the happier of the two teams when you see the highlight package, because those have been the better opportunities to have come to them, and they've had to play against the ball for large stretches. But Charlotte haven't been able to turn that into gilt-edged chances. So for them, I think they have to up the tempo a little bit. When they have possession, to pick up the passes just a little quicker, just to keep it Salt Lake moving, and know when to change the rhythm. It's been a little bit too much of one pace from my perspective, and I've seen that shift of direction from Salt Lake, and right now just haven't been able to turn it into an advantage as far as a goal on the score sheet. But I think they'll be happy with the way that first half went.
So second half starts here at the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. Two teams that each won their groups. Group C for Charlotte and Group F for RSL. KRC Genk awaits in the semi-final. PSV Eindhoven and LA Galaxy are on the other side of the bracket in the semis. Two changes. Hunter Peralta and Van Parker come in. Wilson and Megsino are the two that come out.
And we'll get a look at Van Parker. Early hold-up play. Started an earlier match in this contest, and there's a little bit more of a physical presence, some hold-up plays you can see here.
Parker able to shuffle around. Parker finds space. Parker laces high, but an immediate impact.
That's really well done there. To not just hold the ball up, but to find space to turn. And once he gets into those opportunities, it's just a little bit of a touch and push to create that distance, and he's not quite able to get on top of that, but good first few moments of him in the match.
Not a lot of action in this one for Konstantinos Kiazis, the RSL goalkeeper. Martin lays it off. Most of the field's silent right now. The next rotation of games getting ready to get started. Tyre curls this ball around. Hold is there to nod it back towards midfield. Kerr holds. But four defenders there. Recapture. Real Salt Lake, 2009 MLS Cup champions. Charlotte, of course, one of the youngest teams in MLS. It's their third season, but have already seen the growth of the academy system. Patrick Agimat, already starring with the U.S., was in MLS Next Pro just 2 years ago. Hashimoto. Tyre. Martin with space. Mihov. Tyre swings this ball in. A bicycle kick chance just missed by Parker.
Yeah, but once again, Salt Lake in control in the beginning stages of this second half, and seen a little bit of a wrinkle this match compared to some prior ones we've seen from them. And Jordan Allen, their manager, has switched from 4 in the back to 3. 4-2-3-1 earlier in the tournament, now going to 3-4-2-1, and that allows them to play with wing backs and allow some of their better players like Hashimoto to tuck underneath the striker, has the freedom to drift out wide as we see here. See the technique, the ability to get out of trouble, but ultimately where he's going to be more dangerous is just underneath the striker. That's where we see Van Parker coming in, so need to see if they can exploit those combinations, the wing backs providing the width.
Sub-waiting.
Mihov. It's a good ball wide. Space on this side as well. Tyre sends it through, but it gets cleared out.
Yeah, but again, it's really good passing from Salt Lake to draw numbers in to those central areas, and then Martinez is looking to release Tyre down this right flank. We saw that one big chance early on where Tyre was able to break lines with the ball at his feet, but continuing to be a weapon on this right flank.
Peralta crosses. Has it denied. It comes back out. Silva lays it up top off the outside of the boot for Martinez high. Three changes coming here for Charlotte.
They do such a good job coming down this left flank, and the cutback is usually the space that's on, and it's a difficult ball to deal with coming across your body. The left likely been the more conventional option there. Elects to go with the outside of the right foot, Martinez, and unable to get on top of it.
Those three changes are Christian Fraley, Emmanuel Aguilera, and Daniel Gonzalez all come in. Beveridge, Hall, and Kerr are the three that go out.
Can't get off this side, Red. Can't get off this side. Rowan, give me more balance. Nico's there. Dan, come down here. Back to the 6. Not over your head, Nico. Go, Red. Let's go.
So a new striker up top. Maybe a change of shape as well with Kerr out. Leads to space here. Aguilera. A quick turn. Hashimoto spins it across the width of the field. A chance to charge for RSL. A galloping run from Peralta. Peralta unwinds off of a body, or Techo catches before it goes out of play.
Salt Lake have done a really good job of releasing these wingbacks in space, and Peralta drives forward, but the second time we've seen him just pause his run a little bit. The first time to cut back, the second time not to pass but to have a go himself, but takes the deflection. Ultimately, when you have one side going Tyre and the other through Peralta, you have to respect that and start to shift, and might open up some more space in between the lines. Van Parker coming in and those 2 10s underneath.
That's good. Let's go.
Well, this is about what you would expect from Real Salt Lake. They give up very few chances. They only gave up 1 goal so far in this tournament, but nearly a giveaway. Leads to a chance, but they recover again. They've had 3 clean sheets so far through the first 4. And haven't allowed a goal in now nearly 170 minutes.
Open up again, Royce! Royce! Advance it! Step in!
Yeah, and there are multiple ways to defend, I think. Against the ball, of course, but with the ball, done a really good job of keeping it. It's made it difficult for teams to come back and attack them when they have to chase.
Hashimoto slices and has his pass intercepted. One man down that portion of the field, but it's well outside of the reach of Franco Jaimes, the team's leading goal scorer in this tournament with 3.
They haven't been able to get Jaimes many looks so far, and I think a big part of that is it's hard when he's the lone man up top, a lonely job sometimes being the number 9, where you're being asked to chase balls down and have to see if they can get some connection with some runners around him.
Over the top, Parker waits for it to settle. It finally does, but he eventually runs into the defensive overlap, and it's out for a throw. Cross comes in, a late arriving run, doesn't latch on to it. Hornick unable to get it all the way through. Holt recycles through the first 10 minutes of the second half. Much of the same from half number 1. No score between Charlotte and Real Salt Lake, looking to join Genk, PSV, and LA Galaxy in the U16 championship bracket semifinals. Here's a giveaway and a charge now being mounted through the field. Holt tries to come over. Silva! It is quite the finish off of the run from Nicolas Silva and a 1-0 edge.
Yeah, and it comes from Gonzalez trying to play out. And look at that step there from Georges. It's fantastic. And then Peralta drives forward and says, I got the rest. An absolute wonderful goal to drive forward. And Silva showing the technique with the left foot, but full marks to Georges for stepping from player to player to release to trigger that pressure. And then how about that to pick out the near post? Fantastic finish from Silva. Real Salt Lake up 1-0.
Nicolas Silva's first goal of the tournament. And it is an advantage for Real Salt Lake, a team that has given up only one goal in this tournament, has the 1-0 edge. Well, now if you're Charlotte, you've only had 3 shots in this entire game. You have to have something changed now. Rivas lays it forward. Aguilera touches it back.
Keep going, Nico.
Gonzalez.
Good. Compact. Center close.
Rivas.
Center close.
Gonzalez and Holt. Holt shuttles it through the middle, gets it back after a giveaway, and then draws the foul.
But this sets up well for Charlotte. Haven't been able to create too many clear chances from the run of play, and tournament play, set pieces can be such a big factor. We've seen it especially today. Columbus having to claw their way back earlier in that match against PSV, and moment of magic from them, and good opportunity here with Gonzalez, who has the quality standing on top of this to curl this up and down, try to see if he can get that over the wall and then find their way back in this.
Gonzalez lines this ball up. Carlos Gonzalez curls this ball. What a save it is. Urtecho gets both paws to it to glove it aside.
Yeah, and right on cue, Gonzalez steps up, puts it up and down perfectly, and boy, just kisses it off that post. It's desperately unlucky. Excellent technique to get it up the wall and over it. Just inches off, and instead of kissing the inside of the post and going in, it just goes on the other side. But excellent opportunity, fantastic technique.
Another giveaway in the middle of the field. Daniel Gonzalez takes over. A stumble, no foul. Charlotte made a couple changes. Gavin Smith and Tatsendia Mendovit, they come in. Parker has it for Real Salt Lake, crossing it in. Holt's clearance. Skies to the top of the 18. The 2 players brought off for Charlotte were the team's leading goal scorer, Franco Jaimes, and Jeremiah Munoz.
A really nice feet there. Rowan Martin, little pirouette turn to keep possession, allow them to recirculate.
It's a nice little ball back. Tyre lays it. Hashimoto. Martinez funnels it through. Hashimoto laces, but into a defense. Now a bicycle kick chance. Rolls out wide.
Yeah, but you can feel the confidence coursing through this team, and it tends to happen sometimes. Somebody makes a play, starts with Rowan Martin in the midfield, goes to the other side, a back heel from Van Parker. Silva throws the bike. Fun few moments here from Real Salt Lake, continuing to press on here and trying to win this, pushing for that second in this game.
Quarter hour to play in this one. Holt makes a lengthy run from his central defender spot. But behind him this time around, RSL regained possession. Silva, who has the goal in this game.
The midfield has been really strong for Salt Lake. Those partnerships. Martinez, Martin, Silva dropping underneath. Stretch you side to side, and when they condense the field, that's when they pick those passes to go long. Good opportunity here for one.
Parker, the target, knocks it down, gets an edge. Parker is inside of the 18, cuts it back. There's nobody there until this late arriving run from Peralta. Doesn't get enough on it to challenge the keeper, though.
Yeah, but it becomes hard for Charlotte because once you start to condense the field, you come in tight. That's when they look for those one-on-one matchups.
Parker twirls, Parker curls it in. Hashimoto was the target. Clearance only comes as far as the top of the 18. And it gets cleared away with Martin nearby. Charlotte looked to break in transition. Well, it's never too late. We saw Columbus Crew erase a 2-0 deficit in the 58th minute and beyond. Just one goal differential here.
Money go! Back to the box!
Smith chases after this. Puts it back. Daniel Gonzalez sends it in. Cleared away by Georges.
Come on, man!
Rivas.
Find a moment. Anders, that could be you if it gets high.
Gonzalez
Good, yep, come on, come on.
slings it wide. This ball rolled inside of the 18. And Urtecho. Or check that. That is Key Aziz catching it.
Bad, exploit it, exploit it.
Martinez carries this ball forward. And again, a giveaway. Mihov. Charlotte is going to make 3 changes here. Mateo Navas, Logan Mua, and Connor Ulrich all come in. That trio replaces Carlos Gonzalez, Leo Rivas, and Johan Geraldo.
I think Troy Strickland, just manager, trying to just change the tempo, the momentum. You can see the fresh legs coming in, allowing them to press, have to chase the game a bit. The game states, and it becomes difficult, as we mentioned, with the heat. It's Real Salt Lake, game states favoring them, allowing to play out, but you can see already Charlotte upping the tempo and trying to see what they can do to get back in this one.
A foul on Charlotte, and a free kick here for RSL. Quickly taken. Parker chases. Parker gets to the touchline, bends this ball around. A late arriving run from Peralta. Doesn't get a piece of it, and it's a foul.
Parker's done a good job since coming on to make those inside to outside runs, and picks his head up here and gets that end line. That extra little touch, that hesitation allows him to get that one across, and does not miss by much. Peralta coming crashing in at that back post here, but substitutions playing a big factor for both sides, and Charlotte hoping their new entrances can make the difference.
1-0. Real Salt Lake leading in the U16 championship bracket. Quarterfinals. Nicholas Silva's goal in the 41st minute is the difference in this matchup. The winner takes on Genk in the semifinals on Saturday. Michael Watrank, Kalen Carr, and our team with you. Will there be more late drama in this one? Just as we had in our first semifinal of the day, with PSV outlasting Crew in penalties. Mua taps it forward, and it rolls back. Miov was asking Kiazis to come out, and he never did.
But that's better from Charlotte. Just playing that early ball in behind, asking some questions, making those Salt Lake defenders having to turn and face their own goal, and end up with a corner kick.
Connor Ulrich sets this one up. Less than 10 minutes to go. Charlotte trails by a goal. Just the second time in the tournament that Charlotte have trailed. They came back to beat Genk in the opening game of the group stage. Ulrich hooks this ball in. Easily handled. Second go at it. Ulrich finds space, cuts this in.
Go back. Van, go down if you're hurt. Go down if you're hurt.
Holt, the target, doesn't latch on. Martin cuts this ball forward. Parker on the break. Parker touches it forward. Parker gets the edge. Parker curls this and shreds the strings. A back-flipping second goal for Real Salt Lake to surge in front in the quarterfinal.
And there are two ways to try to close out the game. Possession, but sometimes to go for the second, his lovely little outside of the right foot roll there from Rowan Martin, and then a perfect pass curling in behind, and it's clever here from Van Parker just to cut in front the defender to close out that space. You can see here just that right leg coming across there. That big step allows him to then set himself, get his composure, pick his spot, and then how about the backflip there to celebrate.
The first goal of the tournament for Van Parker, who has been somebody difficult to deal with since he's come on. Now 6 different players in the tournament have scored for Real Salt Lake. And it's a 2-0 edge with less than 7 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. And it's now a desperate time here for Charlotte.
Yeah, and it's just a wonderful ball in there from Rowan Martin. Would have been easy for him to be content to just keep possession, but feels the pressure, rolls his body to open himself up, and then to curl that right into the path of Van Parker there. It's just perfect. See him once again. Rowan Martin has just been a little pirouette in the midfield early in the match. Just been really clever on the ball in possession, and then to break lines with his passing as well on top of that. Really wonderful performance so far from him.
Charlotte looked for a response, but those have been difficult to come by against Real Salt Lake. They have not given up a goal now in over 180 minutes, the only that they've allowed. It is a giveaway, though, and it's a lifeline. Ulrich's shot hits a boot, and Kiasis easily smothers.
Yeah, but there's been a couple times where Charlotte have been able to pick balls off in dangerous areas, and maybe just need that extra little bit of composure or a bit of creativity to just create enough of an opening to take advantage.
This ball thrown through, and it's Parker again. Parker lays it back. Hashimoto tries to find space. Hashimoto gets denied. Parker lashes this ball high.
It's end-to-end stuff now with Charlotte having a chance on one end and then it coming right back down the other side. And this is clever here from Van Parker just to leave it across for his teammate. Hashimoto then cuts it back onto his right foot. It drops back again, but not quite able to get on top of it. But lovely little interchange of play, and things have really improved for Salt Lake since the change, bringing on Van Parker and his combination play, bringing others in.
Aguilera.
Keep organizing.
Charlotte need one back quick.
Good, just compact. Organizing Jonah Royce. Yep, come on, man. Real pressure, man.
Holt. 3 stars for Crown Legacy on the year so far. Lays this ball forward. It's well handled by Peralta. Silva has it swept off of his feet. Peralta, or it's Silva rather, that's down. And now the whistle blows with Silva injured behind the plate.
He made contact, no problem. It is jumping a little bit. I like the hard tackle. That was much. Focus it red! Focus it red! What's happening here?
Well, the drop ball went to the ground, and Ulrich commits the foul. Mihawk lays it wide. Tire.
Strong here, Rod. Strong. Leave it right. Leave it right. Come on, Riley.
Parker comes over. Parker pilfers. Pushes this ball forward. It's Hashimoto. Hashimoto carves up the defense here. Hashimoto spins with his back to goal. It stays in play, and then it rolls out. Corner kick here for RSL. In no rush here. Parker will shield this ball with a 2-goal edge in the 58th minute. Parker again is putting in the work. What a performance it's been by Parker.
He's done a good job since coming in, doing the dirty work as well as getting rewarded, showing his quality. For me, the use of his body. Yes, he has the attributes, the speed, but he's able to create leverage even on the play in behind, where he uses that long right leg to come across to cut off the defender. Ask some questions if he wants to bring him down in the box. It doesn't, and Cooley slots it. Really good performance from him.
I think you have to be impressed with RSL in this game. They feel like they've very much been in control of this match ever since the outset of it. There have been a couple Charlotte opportunities, but really the game has been dictated by Salt Lake.
Okay. Come across now, Nico. Do your job.
60th minute now. Gank awaiting in the semifinal. Those matches to come on Saturday in the U16 championship bracket.
Come on, Ro. Come on, Nico. Keep working, Nico.
This ball rolled forward. Here is this cross in that gets shuttled away by Georgis.
Keep focused, Red. Last little bit. Keep focused.
Holt backpedals, slows it down.
More about the additional time, guys?
This cross comes in. 3 minutes of stoppage time oncoming. Aguilera glides it out wide. Mua unable to get that ball on target, but it does take a ricochet, and it goes out for the 4th corner of the game for Charlotte.
Focus here, Red.
Connor Ulrich lines this one up. Ulrich boomerangs it back post. Wynn might have caught that as it goes out for a goal kick.
go. Jog it. Come on.
Come on, Nico. Let's go, Nico. On the jog. Let's go.
Andreo Gag replaces Silva, who scored the opening goal, and it sits to be the game winner in this one. It was scoreless at halftime. Silva in the 41st, Parker in the 53rd. Have RSL on their way to making it one half of their groups into the semifinal. It will be the U18s coming up later on today against Orlando City in the U18 bracket.
And a good performance from Silva. And it's really his energy tucking underneath and that driving run to finish, to get that first goal for them. And midfield for me is where this game was won today for Salt Lake. Silva dropping underneath. Rowan Martin I thought was excellent. Martinez keeping the ball ticking, moving it side to side, and some good talent for sure for Charlotte. I really like the way they're building. Brian Scales, the academy directors, really unlocked something here. They've got a number of talent already in the pipeline. Fasha Berchimus, a big name we know already, has dealt with some injuries, but I like the way this Charlotte team is playing. Tori Strickland has done a good job setting them up so far in this tournament, and ultimately I think the edge was won in the midfield for Salt Lake.
Focus! Back there, back there. Focus here, Red! Keep going!
Maybe one of the last chances of the day here. Taken away, and this stingy defense continues to do its thing. 188 minutes without a goal conceded by RSL. They've given up a tournament low 1. Asking for a foul. There is not another one. Instead, Charlotte tries to break up this shutout string.
Yeah, but when you play for a team that you know is not going to concede much as an attacker, it just gives you that extra bit of confidence saying, we don't need much, we just need to maybe get one. Second might come after that, and just that confidence of knowing the boys behind you are going to make it difficult. And well done by Salt Lake.
Real Salt Lake pick up a 4th clean sheet. 2 second-half goals puts RSL into the semifinal of the U16 championship brackets. Our man of the match presented by Adidas goes to Van Parker. He came on at halftime, and his influence was felt.
Yeah, it brought that physical presence, doing the dirty work, but also showed his quality, his use of his pace, when to turn it on, when to make those deep-lying runs in, and showed the composure as well in the finish. An excellent one to put it out of distance for Real Salt Lake, a team that has been so strong defensively, but got it clicking offensively today.
So we are down to the last 4 in the U16 championship bracket of Generation Adidas Cup. It will be on Saturday. Real Salt Lake and Genk taking flight at 10 a.m. and then the nooner between PSV Eindhoven and LA Galaxy after those two teams prevailed in penalties in the U16 championship bracket. We have 2 U18 championship brackets coming up here in just a few moments. But for my partner, Kalen Carr, I'm Michael Watrank signing off, where RSL takes out Charlotte by a final score of 2-0. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you again shortly here at the MLS GA Cup. This copyrighted broadcast of the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer and Player Development, LLC.